Hello everybody, and welcome once again to the 11th edition postseason play of Inside the Headset, and I'm here with Coach Philip Shadowens. Coach, last Friday night we ended up the regular season with Riverdale High School, and then I don't think there was any urgency because after I gave you the tape, the DVD, we didn't have any idea where we were playing, so there was, here I am trying to get it all done. I hand you the DVD and I noticed you were calm, and I didn't realize until maybe later on in the night. We were just kind of waiting for somebody like Tom Craig or somebody we knew, or your guys, and you had some guys in here computing, and we were just trying to figure out where are we going.
Yeah, at the end of the Friday night's game, you certainly didn't know, who you were playing. Didn't find out. I think we found out officially about 10:45 Saturday morning. So certainly in no rush to for video necessarily. I mean, obviously we studied our Riverdale video. We made, I thought our kids played hard, made a lot of mistakes throughout the game, but made enough plays to win. Made one more play than they did, and it was a great high school football game. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. 44-43, and both teams played extremely hard. Both made lots of mistakes, I think, defensively, and both defenses were probably frustrated with how that game went. But it was a great high school football game, certainly. And then after the Friday night game, obviously just waiting to find out who we're going to play, and found that out Saturday morning. We were playing Nashville Overton, another really good football team, an 8-2 football team. A senior-dominated football team. So since that point, we've been
Bobcat.
We've been trying to find everything else we can about the Overton Bobcats.
Well, and what have we found out? What kind of ball club are we looking at, Coach? Do they?
A lot of power football. They have a running back that's ran for a little bit over 1,300 yards. They've got a receiver who is committed to MTSU, is a pretty good recruit, can really run. Probably the fastest kid we've played against all year long.
Wow.
He can really fly. Like to run the ball downhill, just another physical team, which kind of matches to what our region likes to do, and what we've seen in our district, obviously. And so we'll see a big physical football team, big old fullback, tailback they love to hand the ball off to, and then a slot receiver that they like to find ways to give him the ball, whether it's through the air, whether it's on reverses, whether it's on options, whatever. They're going to find ways to get him the football. So. A very dangerous football team that would match up with our region very well. I mean, I think the same kind of football team as we face every week in our region.
So the quarterback basically will hand it off, or will they pass it some? Or?
They'll pass a little bit. They throw it to number 5 a lot.
Okay, so that's
they do throw the ball some. Obviously, they want to run the football. Their tailback's averaging 25 carries a game.
So yeah, that tells me
they're going to hand him the ball a bunch. They'll play act fake off that and try to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. They run a little bootleg, a little sprint.
So they are an exciting offense.
It is a power running football team. That's what they want to do. Okay. And we have to be able to stop that, and then we have to find a way to make sure we contain their explosive receiver.
Special teams, what do they look like? Are they a field goal kicking team of what data you have, or just?
No, I mean we've seen a lot of video on them. We've kind of rustled up quite a bit of video on those guys. And they got a pretty decent kicker, but they don't do they haven't kicked a lot of field goals through the year. Not a very explosive punter. He averages about 30 yards a punt, looks like, and they kick everything short in a kickoff team. So they don't feel real confident in that area. They're going to kick everything short, and they probably try to keep it away from Octavius, obviously, like most people have throughout the year. What we need to do is make sure that when we're forced to punt or have to kick off, that we take advantage. We have a real advantage, I think, with kickers.
Yeah.
We have an explosive kicker, and we can flip the field with our kicker, and I think that's an advantage for us tomorrow night.
Great. Great. Talking a little bit more and shifting gears, I wanted to talk a little bit about your staff. You've had this group for 10 years, and we haven't said that much about them, but I did want to talk a little bit about your coaching staff. Talk a little bit about your coaches and your arsenal and the guys that back you up out there. We don't talk much about them, and I know Coach Mitchell, you have mentioned him several times on the show, your defensive coordinator, but talk a little bit more about your coaches.
Got a lot of good ones. We're really blessed here to have good football coaches, and Gail Vick's done a great job of hiring us coaches. Obviously, Jeff Mitchell's our defensive coordinator. David Watson is our offensive line coach and offensive coordinator. Helps me on Friday night a whole bunch, and it's been a huge asset, obviously, to our football team. John McQuarrie is our special teams coordinator, also coaches linebackers. Try not to forget anybody.
I know it.
Receiver coach.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot like this.
Yeah, you didn't tell me you're going to ask that question. Receiver coach is Will Hawkins, who was my freshman coach when I was at Smyrna.
Right.
This is Will's first year here. He's done a good job. Kevin Meadows is our running back coach, which was on Bobby's staff here before I got here, and he's been coaching, I think, 6 years now. He takes all the credit for Octavius.
Okay.
Obviously. But Scott Workman's my defensive line coach, and been coaching for a bunch of years. Does a really fantastic job. Jeff Lee's our outside linebacker coach. Then Jeff Mitchell, my defensive coordinator, is also my D-back coach. Then I have some wonderful freshman coaches, and Brad Nix and Tyler Slater and Andrew McGowan. we left anybody out.
I don't know, but if we did, we didn't mean to. I didn't mean to surprise like that, but I did want to make sure we do mention them because it's important. Those guys put in a lot of time, underpaid, overworked, and you guys put together a good team, get along, and
get along good. That's the big thing about the coaching staff is that number one, they have to be willing to study football,
right,
and work 7 days a week. Starting in end of July to whatever now it is, middle of
the fun
November,
time.
December, whatever it is, and we have a coach staff that's willing to do that and want to study the game, want to learn the game, and never complain about the hours we work, and are dedicated to our kids, and they love kids. And the key to being a high school football coach or a coach at any level is you got to love kids, love being around them, care about them, truly care about them, not just as football players, but just caring about kids. And we have a staff that's made up of people like that, and good examples, good Christian guys, which is important to me. So I've been very impressed with our staff and the work ethic, and I think that the kids can see that. The kids can see that the coaches are prepared when they walk out there to practice, and I think that gives our kids confidence.
Well, and a big significant shout out to the significant others, I guess I would say, because they really let those guys go and stay out late. And I don't mean like you're running around town, but you're right here. I mean, but it's just a lot of what ifs and let's go back to this and let's relook at that and didn't he do this, and you go back over stuff.
Well, sure. We got a lot of coaches that are married. Most of them have children, and a lot of them have children anyway. So you have to make sacrifices. The spouses make a lot of sacrifice. The wives at home, especially those with children, but we try to find time. We work Saturday morning, and then the coaches are off until Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So we try to make that weekend some time to spend with family, and you go to church with your family, whatever it is that's important to you. All afternoon Saturday and Saturday night, and all day Sunday until 4 o'clock, and so we do that. Thursday, get away from here early. We don't meet a lot after practice. I try to get them home as quick as we can. I mean, we meet sometimes when we have to, but it's important to spend time at home with families. And I tell our kids my priorities are God, family, football in that order, and certainly we want all our coaches, families to come first, way before anything else. And I think I know some wives probably get frustrated at times, but I think we really make an attempt to make sure everybody has time to spend at home.
Well, and it's a difference, and the kids appreciate it. It is a long season, but this is what we work hard for. This is it. This is the postseason, and this is the fun part that really pumps your adrenaline, and such as a game did Friday night and the rest of the track. Injury-wise, we okay?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anybody's missing any time this week. Nobody's really missed any practice time either, so I think we're in good shape injury-wise. This is why the kids work so hard for this time of year. But I say we always work for the playoffs, and that is what you work for. But the journey to get there, the voyage you take starting in July, really starting back in January when you start your off-season program. I want the kids to remember and to enjoy the journey to get to where we are right now. This is the reward for it's kind of a well-done reward to this point. And then now our ultimate goals start kicking in, and and everybody has we have 32 teams left in 6A football, and we all have that same goal. But it's accomplished by doing things the same way you've done them all year long. And that's preparing to win one football game, to play 48 minutes of really good football, and you do that by playing one great play at a time. And so nothing changes in the playoffs. The teams that can keep it normal, keep doing what they're doing, keep practicing the same way they've practiced all year long, practice with the same type of intensity, are the teams that can succeed in the playoffs. And that's what we've tried to focus with our kids on, is that nothing changes, it's just 48 more minutes, and we're all shooting at a goal later on down the road, but you can't get there in 1 week. You got to get there 1 week at a time. It doesn't all happen in 1 week. It's just 1 week at a time, one play at a time for 48 minutes. And that's what our focus has been this week.
And you talk so much, and I know you've already stressed it probably 100 times to the kids about being, don't overdo it, be normal, don't do anything, don't try to be a hero, and don't do anything ignorant outside of school, and don't do anything inside of school, or don't do anything outside there on the football field. Be yourself and operate just what you say, normal routine.
Yeah, nothing changes. I mean, we have a lot of expectations from our kids as far as how they act. And, when you're coaching 100, freshmen, 170 of them or whatever it is now, they're going to make mistakes.
Sure.
But you just try to learn from that and tell our kids to do the right things. And this week hadn't been any different than any other week for us, as in football. And
one day in the gym, usually a storm or something's occurred.
Yesterday, Wednesday was that day. We got to go in the gym. But our kids, the difference in this group than some groups we've had in the past, maybe in my coaching career, is that this group, it doesn't matter what happens, they just keep on working and preparing. In our days, we've had 3 or 4 days in the gym this year, which I can't stand to be in the gym.
I know.
because that's not a football field. I mean, you don't get as much done. But our kids have done a great job of preparing in the gym, and that's when you have that many kids in one small location. A lot of times it doesn't go
a little
very
horsing
well.
around, yeah, I know.
But our kids have done a great job of preparing. Had a great day of practice yesterday in the gym. Thought we got everything done we wanted to get done. And came out today for a quick walkthrough. Kids executed well, and we're ready to play football tomorrow night.
Great, great. I think that does it. We've talked injuries. We've talked about our coaching staff, which I definitely wanted to get in because, the wear and tear, like I said, just coming in and out of here, and we do it, and sometimes it's part of the deal. It's another week, but this week has been pretty easy. Flown by since last Friday, so we'll get ready. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, right? 7
o'clock tomorrow night. All playoff games are at 7. I'm not so sure this week has flown by. I think it's been a long week. I'm ready for tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to happen. But
how much sleep you actually been getting, Coach? Come on, be honest with us, because I know if everybody knew how much sleep you really get during this, because you always say I'll sleep January and February, because people don't really know. I could probably call you at 3 o'clock. You're up messing around.
Some nights sleeping's not. I've never had to have a lot of sleep, so God made me that way, so I'm good. We don't sleep a lot, but that's okay. I think it's our job as coaches to make sure we're prepared, and if we ask our kids to work hard and prepare, I think it's our job as coaches to make sure we're doing everything we can do to win football games, and so that's what we're trying to do right now, and we'll continue to do that as long as we're winning football games.
Sounds good. Let's do it up. Tomorrow night here at the Inferno at 7 o'clock, Coach Anderson will bring in the Bobcats. Why don't we do just what Coach Shadowens is doing, and that's come out and support the Blaze and work hard and cheer them on. We'll see you here.